Okay, so today I wanted to go through the instructions of the Kickboxing Underground workout program in hopes that just having an audio overview might help you get started better. So the instructions are a total of seven pages. It's going to take you a good 30 to 40 minutes to read through and try to grasp. However, you only have to do that once. Then every workout that you do, you'll just be on autopilot as long as you really absorb these instructions, take them to heart. Of course, you might have to check back on a tip or two, but let's just go through them page by page real quickly so you can see what you're getting yourself into. First, you see I do have follow the instructions exactly as written. Boy, that's so important. Let's get to see what some of these instructions are. Here's what you have to do to get started. Number one, you got to get your workout area set up. It needs to be roomy, spacey, clean, without possibility of injuring yourself. Number two, get your tunes on. Music is probably 50% of your workout energy. Three, make sure your round timer is set up. This you can download off the Play Store or another marketplace. There's so many free ones. That's all you'll need to do. The instructions tells you what to put them on. I won't waste your time with that now. Number four, so important, don't allow distractions from the outside. That might be the key of a successful workout program if you want to get lost in the flow of the workout and not be a clock watcher just wondering how much longer you have to endure this hard exercise. This exercise certainly won't feel like that. You will get lost in the flow, but don't allow distractions from the outside. If you're going to do that, then you might as well not even be on the system. It just won't work for you. Needs a distraction-free environment, or you won't get it. Number five, how you go through the rounds. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what these rounds look like. The formula is always the same. There's 10 rounds. Each of these rounds is going to start out the same way. Round one, seated stretches. Yep. Just sit down, do whatever stretches you know for your 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, whatever you have your timer set to. Number two is standing stretches. You're simply going to stand up and do whatever stretches you need. Number three, dynamic stretches. That means stretching while you're moving. If you need help with any of these types of stretches, YouTube probably has a million videos on each and every category, but you probably already know how to do, anything you need to do. So round four is shadow boxing. This, you can throw whatever you want, practice all kinds of kicks, punches, spinning kicks, head movement, footwork, whatever you want to do. You just won't be hitting the bag, but you'll be shadow boxing. If you need some tips, I have some in here, keep reading. Then, now we're going to get to the heavy bag. So rounds 5 through 10, on math, on the paper, it looks like it would only be 5 rounds, but it's actually 6 because you include both numbers. You are going to approach the bag as if it is an opponent who's capable of striking you anytime you're within striking distance from it. Read over the tips here. They're all crucial. They'll all really help you. Hopefully, as you read these in your mind, you'll be thinking, God, this makes perfect freaking sense. I'm definitely gonna approach my training this way. Hopefully it will resonate with you that way. If not, it could be that you're on the wrong program. There's a lot of other good programs out there. You may want to find the right fit for yourself. But this is perfect for so many people. Hopefully it is for you as well. So it goes over more tips. We're on page 5 already, talking about timing, distancing, if you want to work with a partner. Now, where it gets a little bit tricky, because the workouts don't have any instruction in them, you're not going to have a place to really, get questions answered as you're going through the workout. So if it doesn't make immediate sense, you may have to check back to this section or one of the videos that I might have up on YouTube. But for example, there's a round that says hooks or kicks. Read this over. When you get to that round, you're just going to do hooks or kicks. So pretty simple, but definitely read it over. And I probably shouldn't say read it over because you really should be reading every single word that's in these instructions before you get started. So don't think this is a call to action to just skim through here and pick out some stuff that you think you might be interested in. There's one combo that says clinch, infighting, dirty boxing. You're going to keep your hands right on the bag the whole time, not around the bag. That's too far. You won't be able to strike, but just in the front of the bag. Simulates a clinch. You're going to fight however you can from inside that close fighting range. You'll find out more as you read that. There's something called a Tyson left hook. There's a left Superman punch. We all know the Superman punch, but when you go up to throw that right-handed Superman punch and in mid-air you switch it to a left, that's the left Superman punch. Read that over. And then some combinations, like you see here, it's not one long combination you do. You're not going to jab, right, low kick, jab, cross, left, low kick, jab, cross, hook, right, low kick. That won't work. This is 3 mini combos. Usually you can tell it'll have some stronger punctuation between them. This has a semicolon. Some might have a period, but it's more than just a comma. So you see the semicolon here. So it's jab, right, low kick. Then you back out away from your opponent. Jab, cross, left, low kick. Another semicolon, you back away from your opponent. Jab, cross, hook, right, low kick. So it's 3 mini combos. How long you take between each one is up to you. Don't worry about it. There are 2 funky little workouts. They're called Formula 1 and Formula 2. I'll just let you read through that. And then I answer some questions about how frequently you might want to do this training, what type of heavy bag you need to purchase. I'll just say right now, if you can, get a hanging bag. Don't get one that's on some sort of stand or rack that makes like a tripod, where the bag is hanging out front and you have these 2 big metal feet on each side of it. Sometimes people put weight plates there to anchor it down. Don't get that type of bag. That type of bag won't work at all. If you're going to just stand there and punch at the heavy bag like most people do, sure, it's fine. But to do the types of combinations we have going on here, the types you might actually be involved in if you're involved in a fight, that won't work at all. I would rather someone has a freestanding bag that just has a base and stands up that way rather than one with a metal rack of any type around it or near it. So if you can hang one from the ceiling, get yourself a heavy bag spring. It'll take off a lot of shock. Also reinforce up there where you're putting the swivel and the eye hook in order to hold the heavy bag up. Reinforce that up in your ceiling, attic, whatever, real good. You'll be glad you did in the long run. And then the instructions talk about a combination master list. And in that master list, this is going to be a big turnoff to some people, but I use colors in the combinations and you're going to see why. I give you the key right here. This is not something you need to hold in your head while you're going through the system, but a lot of people are curious and would want to know. I know I would. So I have the answer key right here. If the combo is green, mainly just punches. If it's red, it has a switch kick in them. If it's brown, it contains a knee. If it's orange, it has a push kick. If it's blue, nice mix of punches and kicks. If it's black, it's kind of unique and hard to label. So I'll show you what some of those look like right now. So that's the instructions. You're going to want to print all those out. You're going to want to read them over, maybe more than once. Then you have the master list of fighting combinations. This is all the combos contained in the system. There may even be 1 or 2 on here that aren't in the system. This is many pages. You're going to want to print this out too. Now you can see why I say that everything has to be printed out in color, because there's a lot of color to it. And if you don't print it in color, you're going to be missing that color key that I talked about earlier. We'll get to the first workout. Here's what the first workout looks like once it comes up. This is the very first thing you'll ever do. You'll just open up your notebook. It'll say Muay Thai workout number 1, and you're going to press your timer, and it's going to say ding, and you're going to spend 3 minutes doing seated stretches. So you're going to do seated, standing, and dynamic stretches, not taking the 1 minute break between those rounds because it's so easy, you don't need to. But after your dynamic stretching or after shadow boxing is when you're going to want to begin the actual break time. And then you get to the combos. So the first fighting combo you're going to have is when you get to the bag, right cross, left switch kick, cross hook. You're going to do that for 3 or 4 minutes, whatever you programmed your timer to. If you think you can pick up and just start off running immediately, you might want to set your timer to 3 minutes. If you think you're going to have to really stand there and squint your eyes and figure out exactly how to do this on the bag, then give yourself an extra minute. So set your timer for 4 minutes with a 1 minute rest time in between. Then you get to number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. You're going to see we have that Infighting Clinch Dirty Boxing I just mentioned earlier. That's the workout. When you get done with this exercise, round 10, you're going to feel no stress. You're going to have the best freaking high impact, hard knocking kickboxing workout that you've ever experienced. You're going to absolutely love it. Now we're going to get to workout number 2. And by the way, when I say you're going to absolutely love it, that doesn't just happen at the end of workout number 1. You're going to feel the same way after workout number 2, after workout 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter what workout you're on, how many times you've done it, you're going to love each and every one. I mean, they're absolutely perfect. This whole system just so completely, totally rocks that when I first created it, it was by far the best thing on the planet. And I could unequivocally say, hey, this is the best workout program on earth. But now a couple of other programs have come out that are pretty darn good. One, there's an app. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's good for people that are brand new because it shows the combinations being done. Number 2, you got people like Jeff Chan with MMA Shredded. He's got a couple of great programs. You've got Sean Fagan, the Muay Thai guy. He's got some great DVD stuff for workouts. You've got a couple of great boxing teachers out there, like Jason at Precision Striking, I think. You've got Trav from Fightworks. He's got some great workouts. But this is the only workout system that is simply based on paper, so you don't need technology besides your timer and your tunes. And I have a strong opinion that low tech is actually the best way to go when it comes to getting your consistent, stable workout system going on and keeping it month after month and year after year, which is definitely possible with this. And the reason is, number 1, when the workout's going on, you're never having to look at anything other than the heavy bag. So DVDs are out. And the reason why I don't like audios is because I want my own tunes. I don't want to hear the same playlist over and over and over and over. I mean, that gets so boring. I want the tunes I want when I want them on. Super important to me. I like, some heavy hip hop, gangster rap type of stuff. Maybe some alternative, some hard rock. I don't want to hear, some cheesy porno music in the background. It's just background so that the people doing the audio workouts can keep talking. I don't want to hear the same stuff over and over. So this lets you just approach the workout, your notebook. It's going to be posted up somewhere high where you can just kind of see it in a fight stance and read it. Thumbtack it on the wall if you want to, put it in a page protector. But when you get there, you're just going to read over the workout. You're going to not the workout. You're going to read over the combination. You're going to pantomime it. I'm going to act like I'm doing the front push kick, then throwing the rear knee, then come with a cross, a hook, and a rear push kick. You're just going to do that a couple of times. Say it to yourself in your mind. You'll have it. You'll go to the heavy bag. You'll be like, okay, that was front push kick, rear knee. You might have to look back at the sheet. What came next? Oh, cross hook. So you're going to do that a couple of times. Then you're just going to totally have the combo. You don't need to hear somebody repeating it in your ear. You don't need to be looking over at a screen. You don't need to be fiddling around with any buttons on anything, trying to go back. This is so simple and easy. And just absolutely perfect. Some of these combinations you can't really have on audio because there's no way to really pace this out so that the person is saying the right thing when you're actually on the right thing, especially when it comes to something like this. Look at this, round number 10. jab, cross, flying knee. Now, after you hit that flying knee, you're probably going to have a slight pause before you hit that Superman punch, because you're going to want him reacting still to that flying knee when you jump for your Superman punch. Then you're going to hit a low rear roundhouse, rear push kick, front roundhouse to the head. These kind of combos just don't work on audio very well. You kind of need to come here. You need to read them in black and white so they sink into your head. You need to practice them a few times. Let's go on to workout number 3. Same stuff. You see the formula is always the same. Round 1, 2, 3 with seated, standing, and dynamic stretching. Always around to shadow boxing. And the reason why there's always around to shadow boxing, number 1, so many people say shadow boxing is so important. So if it is, why not make sure you never, ever neglect it by having it built into every single workout? Of course, you're only doing 1 round, but that's okay. You'll come to appreciate just having 1 round. Then you're doing 6 on the heavy bag. And sometimes the combinations on the heavy bag may not have your pet technique contained in them. I mean, possibly not anywhere. You might do some fancy tornado kick or something like that, or cartwheel kick, or something from one of the other traditional martial arts that you like a lot, whether it's a hand strike, foot strike, elbow strike, anything. It could be more acrobatic. You need a place to be able to freestyle. You can always freestyle right here in the shadow boxing. So you can never say, well, I like the workout system, but I wish it had such and such, because it does have such and such. All you have to do is put it in there on any day when you're doing round number 4. You can practice whatever the heck you want. You may learn new stretches, new techniques, all that kind of stuff. No problem. Just add in the new stretch you learned, whether it was seated, standing, or dynamic, when you're doing one of these. Add in your technique in the shadow boxing. Now, when we get here to the heavy bag rounds again, you can see there's a good mixture of colors. Don't worry too much about that, but when I made this system and I was dealing with so many different workouts and so many combinations, I wanted to make sure they were spaced out. For example, I didn't want to have all rounds where I was switch kicking just the whole time. It's very tiring. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't putting undue emphasis on certain body parts, muscle structures. I wanted to make sure I spaced out everything over my entire body. I don't want my wrists. That's the problem with boxing workouts. Your wrists are taking 100% of the impact, 100% of the time you're working out. With the kickboxing and spacing out that impact amongst your elbows, your knees, your shins, your instep, your fists, really helps. So you can see this has just such a good variety. In fact, I don't think anything is repeated. Now, I didn't try to be this anal about every one. Sometimes you'll have 2 or maybe even 3 blue combos, or 2 or even 3 greens or blacks. Doesn't matter, but this is just an example of how evenly spaced out this workout is, for example. And then we get to just one more workout I'm going to show you. Look at this. We got 4 blues. Every single workout is going to be awesome. You may end up having favorites like, gosh, I really like doing this one. Try not to try to pick out favorites. You want to be completely even keeled in your workout longevity. So you don't want to have any highs and lows that are too dramatic. You want to really have some equanimity in the way you approach each training session, because the whole purpose the whole way to be consistent is to give yourself good feelings about your exercise program. And anytime you're doing it, you should feel like a 10. The workouts are going to give you a number 10 workout each and every time. I mean, you're going to have the structure there that your workout should be a 10, as long as you follow the directions, which included avoiding distractions, and as long as you're competent enough to know what's going on just by taking a look at, kind of a cheat sheet looking thing like this. But this is the entire system. This is the way it looks and works through all 10 sessions. Then you're going to have those 2 bonus sessions, the formula workouts. So I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about on choosing too many favorite things. And the reason is when you have favorite things, then by default, you have things that you just don't like. Try to like everything. You're going to end up loving some stuff for sure, but try to like everything. Try not to have favorite workouts where, God, hey, well, you know what? I'm really looking forward to workout number 5. Yeah, I don't like workout number 3 or 4 that much. Then what's going to happen is you're going to start skipping. You're not going to give it this the way the system was intended. Just trust the system. It'll do you right every single time. This will be, without a doubt, again, as long as you follow the instructions, you don't add anything or take anything away. I mean, everything is just perfect the way it is. If you follow this in the system as written and prescribed and instructed in the instructions, you're going to love it. You're going to have the best workout program that you've ever been on in your whole life. And you're going to feel that way about it possibly from the very first session through the very first month. When you've been on this 3 years and you're doing workout number 4 again, you are still at the end of that workout. You're going to absolutely have loved it. You're going to be, God, that was a freaking 10. There was nothing I could have improved about that. And the reason is because this is fighting. There isn't a whole lot more to it than what is contained herein in the system. Of course, there's things with, maybe there's grappling and certain techniques and things like that aren't contained in the system that you're not going to use. But by and large, this contains everything that is fighting. And if you compare it to, for example, a boxing workout where you're just using your hands, people feel very contented working in that system for a lifetime. So how much more so with a kickboxing system that disperses those techniques and impacts along your whole body and lets you really practice a variety of everything so that you're not stuck in a rut just doing whatever your brain can remember at the time when you're on the bag, which would end up being a whole bunch of just straight punches and some hooks. I won't say any more about it. I will let you be the judge. So wanted to give this a quick overview. Not sure how quick it ended up being, but hopefully that lets you put some pegs in your mind on which to wrap this information around so that you can decide if this is something you want to do and if this would work out to be a great system for you, as it has been for me all these years. Any questions, you can email me at kickboxingunderground@gmail.com. I'm Chris Hinton, and I will catch you later.